Hey everybody, and welcome to the Two Broke Gamers podcast. A podcast where two broke guys talk about games and such. Some of them that we can play, some of them that we don't. Myself, I'm Ricky.
I'm Steve.
What's going on, man?
Tired.
Yeah, man, I hear you. It's been a rough week.
Oh, it's been a rough day specifically.
Yeah, you've been up since 5.
Well, like 4:30. It's because I'm a league head and I got up to watch Worlds. So
Yeah, you definitely had. You mean you had to?
It's that Singapore time, man. Because they're playing from Singapore, so I'm so tired.
So to talk about that real quick, because I know we got some league stories to talk about later, but how does that work if, say, you don't watch it? Are they gonna replay it later?
They replay them in a more American convenient time, but I have to watch them live. I can't watch a replay.
It's different.
It is. I feel like it's not the same.
That's the way I feel. Even with like sports or like any like a live event or live show, I feel like I can't watch a lot of those because it's done and everybody's watched it. I think I don't know. It's
behind on the times, man.
Exactly. That's the way I feel.
I had to watch it live, and those are some good games.
Yeah, so we'll definitely talk about those later. First, we gotta talk about like a little follow up that we talked about before, of course. NHL 15 is out, and they're actually EA announced that a lot of features that were in the previous series in the games are not going to be in the game at all, and now they're kind of changing their minds on that. So it's not going to be DLC. We assumed.
We were like, it's going to be DLC. You pay for all the stuff that you used to have.
Especially the fact that EA said that they're planning to make $1 billion in DLC next year.
Yeah, but no, they're going to be patching some of their old features.
Yeah.
Into the new game because people complained about it.
Oh yeah, so the patch is giving you tournament playoff mode in the main game, a coach that grades your player's performance in the Be a Pro career mode, and then you get to name the 3 stars at the end of all games in all modes. So I mean, this is stuff that people were missing, man.
Yeah, it's I guess crucial. Those don't seem too crucial.
Yeah, in October, an update is planned to do online team play. And that was also in the last game, and introduced an amateur draft. And in the Be a GM mode, the draft is currently simulated in Be a GM. So there you go. You're getting some features back in your game.
That's if you play the game.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't know how many people actually play.
Yeah, I don't know too many people who play NHL, but if you do, there you go.
Yeah, I think more people are into FIFA.
FIFA was huge. I know a lot of people were excited about the FIFA game. 15.
Yeah, going on to other stuffs. The Oculus Rift. But we wanted to do another follow-up to this, too, because we've always talked about... we've talked about the acquisition of the Oculus from Facebook for $2 billion. Same thing that goes for the announcement of Minecraft being bought by Microsoft for $2.5 billion. Now, the head of the president, I believe, or CEO of Oculus, Brendan Iribe, or Iribe, I don't know how you say his name, but he talked about it. He made a little mention of it. He said how it was ironic, and that's only because Notch actually was a big part of Oculus, and he was like working to bring out like a new version of of Minecraft, the actual virtual reality version of Minecraft to Oculus and all that stuff. And once it was announced that Facebook had bought Oculus, they said, Notch had actually just tweeted, we were in talks about maybe bringing a version of Minecraft to Oculus. I just canceled that deal. Facebook creeps me out. So then when the dude that's from Oculus, the CEO, had talked about, hey, you know what? Minecraft was just bought for $2.5 billion. How ironic.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, it was kind of a dick way he said it. I mean, of course, we'll link that video, but it was just like, I mean, like I said, he's got some sort of point. Like we said, Notch left on his own terms. He got his, he did his thing. He didn't want to be like that big gaming celebrity. He didn't want to be full fish in some way. And instead, he kind of like, now he has a lot of money. And that's the first thing I said. Like, he has a lot of money now.
That's a lot. That's more than money than I would ever know what to do with.
Yeah. And, I mean, if he continues to do indie games, that's great. I mean, he could even fund them himself. And that's another thing, too. What if he does a Kickstarter?
yeah. If he ever did a Kickstarter, I would be mad at the person who donates money to it.
Because I mean, like, he really could fund his own game. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. You just got a huge payday.
Yeah. I mean, come on. He was like majority owner of
Minecraft.
Yeah. So I mean, of the company that was bought. Mojang.
Mojang.
So speaking of the Oculus Rift, keeping on that. Oculus announced that they have a partnership with Unity, so the Unity engine is going to be very much supported by Oculus. So a lot of your games might be Unity based.
Cool.
Yeah. So just
I'm not really planning on getting an Oculus Rift, so I can't.
Are you
really...
into the VR at all?
Not particularly.
What's turned you off about it?
I don't know. I feel like it's hard to explain. It's just like I don't know. I feel like it's a weird way to want to escape reality. I don't really know how to explain how I feel about this. It's
anything could just help you escape reality, whether you're
right,
playing a regular game or
But I don't know. It's weird.
It's better than the virtual way, I guess. Or even like the old virtual reality of like the 1990s where you were in polygon world.
Yeah, I guess I'm not a big fan of putting on a helmet.
I guess so. Well, there's also videos of people who try it, and there's one video of like a security guard, I believe in Africa, that tried it on and thought the roller coaster game was so real. He was just actually diving with it and just falls flat in his face. I'm kind of showing Steve the loop of it. Funny. And it's just like, I don't know, are people even ready for that? Because I also remember there was a video that I showed you in Russia, I believe, or or another country.
Yeah, the dude was on a roller coaster and they pulled back on his shoulders and the guy started freaking out and stuff.
Yeah, it's just screaming and kicking around and it's just like, well, are people even ready for that? Or maybe they need to play more games. Like maybe you kind of need an introduction. Like you need those 2D platformers and 3D platformers like on a TV screen before you actually, and maybe first-person shooters before you actually kind of go into the virtual reality.
I don't know. I think it's interesting, but it's not my cup of tea.
And there's also some issues with virtual reality because it's making some people nauseous. And I guess it's just because you're entrapped. You're in a world that you're not really in a world in. So I guess I don't know. Like I've kind of like saw some things like people saying that you get nauseous using the VR, and I'm like, I still want to try it. I think it's pretty cool that you're in a game world itself. Like you're surrounded. You get the sound effects. You're in a different game.
Yeah, I would try it, but I don't think I would ever like invest in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely try, but not invest. I think I'm with you on that. Now, speaking of investing in it, they're selling the the Samsung and Oculus are working together to get the Gear VR. It's basically a shell that you can put over your head to play virtual reality games or Oculus games on, but it's only working for one phone. And yes, it works in a phone. There's actually a slot that you put in there. And, you have your own virtual reality thing, which, other people have found other ways of doing that. Like Google had like a thing where you can cut out like cardboard or something like that and you have virtually the same thing.
Tape it to your face.
Yeah, it's basically. And the problem is a lot of developers are angry because when they're going to first release this with the games on the Galaxy S4, well, first, the games aren't even going to be like through the Play Store. It's going to be their own store that they have to go through. But all those games are going to be for free.
For free.
So all these games that these developers have been working on for months and maybe years, and they've been working with Oculus for all this time, and now they're like, you know what, the first couple of games are going to be free. And meanwhile, that's pivotal because in a new game system, a lot of developers make a lot of money off of that because, depending on the console and depending on how many sales they get, that can sell a lot, especially for a higher price.
Yeah. So to give their stuff away for free, I don't know. If I was a game developer, I'd be kind of mad.
Yeah,
I'm mad.
I'm with them. I'm mad at that.
But I guess being owned by Facebook, maybe Facebook will pay.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. $1 billion. Hopefully they're giving some developers some sort of compensation.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, seriously.
Otherwise, if I was a developer, I'd pull out.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Anyway, moving on. To like online gaming such. You remember he talked about the Lizard Squad, a hacking group that's been shutting down games.
Well, Lizard Squad.
Yeah. Now they've actually took responsibility for knocking down the Destiny and Call of Duty Ghost servers this past weekend. Apparently they did a DDoS attack. They took down the PlayStation Network last month. This time they actually knocked down the Destiny and Call of Duties offline. So
I actually didn't even hear about it, but that just go away. Like, please. I'm tired of DDoSing.
I don't know. They're doing it for the lulz, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, they're doing it for the lulz, but it's inconvenient when I'm trying to play games. Yeah, you're taking down the servers.
It's 2 games that we're not playing anyway, so.
Those are 2 games I'm not playing, but I'm a League player, and they constantly go after League.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did attack them last month.
Yeah, they constantly go after League. I'm like, can you stop? I'm trying to play games.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying.
Well, they don't ever attack Nintendo servers, so I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
like the 12 people that are going to be affected anyway by playing Mario Kart. Well, there's going to be more next month or, in the future when it's like, the Wii U version comes out. I don't know about the 3DS so much. And going on so we're still going on some PC type of news a little bit and Kickstarting news because there was a game that sounded real interesting. It was by an author he was a science fiction writer, Neil Stephenson. 2 years ago, he had a plan to make a game about realistic sword fighting. And he wanted $500,000 for people to give to him and fun and whatnot, and nothing really came of it. Like it was like developed, it was being developed, it was being worked on, and after 2 years, he just said, you know what, this is the final update. The game is canceled, and everybody's gonna get their money back.
Well, at least he's giving their money back.
Yeah,
I know. I've heard of some things where Kickstarters didn't even get their money back.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of lame.
Yeah. It was called Clang. Of course, it was going to be like one of the most realistic sword fighting games. I don't think there was ever any video or anything like that
Because he probably didn't get too far into production.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing too, and just the fact that he just kind of like I guess maybe he found it difficult to develop or whatever the case may be. I didn't really see the quote, but I know that it's now canceled. But I'm really actually happy that he's one of the few people that took responsibility and said, you know what, this is not working out, and I have to cancel this game. But anybody who did support this game, you're getting your money back.
Yeah, so a good guy, what's his name? Neil Stephenson?
Mm-hmm.
Good guy, Neil Stephenson.
Yeah, seriously. Imagine he was a dick like some other Kickstarters and just kept their money.
Yeah, like, well, this failed. Later.
Sticking to PC games a little bit too, major company and major news that upset a lot of people. There was a game that this company, I don't know if you ever heard of this company, Steve.
I may have heard of them. The name is a little familiar.
Blizzard
Games.
Yeah.
Blizzard. Yeah, Blizzard Activision or whatever it is. Yeah, I've heard of them. Maybe.
Yeah, they were working on this MMO called Titan.
I never heard of that.
Have you not?
Well, I mean, I sort of heard of it, but I never really looked too much into it.
Well, now it doesn't matter because that game's canceled.
It's been canceled. They've been working on that game for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be their like MMO follow up to Warcraft, and well, goodbye.
Yeah, basically. Now, what this game was actually supposed to be about, was like what the game was supposed to be about was an MMO. Where it's based, I guess it's a science fiction where us Earthlings were protected against an invasion from aliens, and basically you're like, I don't know, warring with aliens, I guess.
Yeah, but you have to have a day job apparently.
Yeah, that's the weird part about that. Like you have a day job.
You have a day job, and at night it's like I'm a baker by day and I'm an alien killer by night. What's up?
It's strange, but. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it probably could have been kind of interesting if they pulled something off like that, but they couldn't, apparently.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Yeah, maybe I guess Destiny might have taken their thunder. I don't know what kind of a game, because it kind of like maybe sounds like Destiny, except you're not working a day job, which could have been weird. Like, how are you working a day job and then
I don't know.
I mean, night?
I guess there are games that have concepts of day and night.
Yeah, it's like two different jobs where you're a war machine one night, and then during the day it's like, I got a 9 to 5.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it'd be interesting, actually. Maybe I should have looked into the game a little bit more, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point because it's been canceled after 7 years of production.
Yeah, I hope somebody else takes that idea and kind of rolls with it, in all honesty. I want to see a newer type of game like that. Like, different types of games, too, interest me. Like, nothing like the same old stuff. Like, same old stuff will still interest me. I'm not going to lie to you. But when there's games like, even like the newer like war game, and I forget its name, but I've seen it pop up from time to time, where instead of you're playing the first person shooter of,
it's like Our War or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is Our War.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you have to basically, you're like a survivor in the war.
You're the civilian trying to avoid all the gunfire and stuff.
Yeah, that game looks pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I just hope it, comes out sometime in the future.
Yeah, seriously.
Near future, preferably.
All right. Well, we're going to go into some, like I talked about, some games that we're not playing. I know Steve has never really played a game in the series, and I haven't played anything since 9. Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, first news, I remember years ago when Final Fantasy was only a Sony game, And then all of a sudden, Square Enix said, you know what? This game's coming out for the Xbox now.
Yeah.
So, and that started with Final Fantasy XIII, where now that game is coming to PC.
Expanding even more.
Yeah. And I heard it's not really a great game anyway, so maybe
I had a lot of friends who were very upset with 13.
So maybe there's some mods to make a good-looking game kind of better, I guess. So, who knows? So, yeah, and we talked about a little bit of Final Fantasy 15 because we did look into the actual trailer, and we saw some memes that were based off of it
of course.
online, which we'll link you to if you have not seen it. It's basically the 4 dudes in the car.
They're looking at like all different kinds of weird things out of the car.
Yeah.
Because basically what the meme is, it's just the scene where the guys are looking
at that giant monster.
They're looking at the giant, whatever stone monster thing. I don't know what it is because, this game is very vague at the moment.
Yes.
But no, it's like there's them sitting in the car looking out it's a convertible.
Yeah.
And they're looking at like a McDonald's drive-through menu and stuff. Like these are pretty funny.
Yeah, you got to see some of them to like it, to appreciate it.
Of course.
And these 4 dudes, they're driving around and such. That's that's what mostly it seems like the game is. Apparently, the game is of course deeper than that, but it's going to be type of an open world type of game. And this is according to the guy who's directing the game, who actually took over the direction of the game because the game's been in development for about 9 years almost, or at least 9 years at this point anyway, almost 10. And it's Hajime Tabata. He actually took over this game 2 years ago from the guy who was formerly directing it, who is now, I think, solely focused on
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, because that game needs to come out so Square can make some more money.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, they're doing enough with the HD remakes of like the first one and the second one. So, I mean, they need to release the third one at some point. But he did discuss like other things, like it being open world, very much of an open world, but with some sort of narrative. So that's a wonderful thing to kind of see. The game looks very different from the other past Final Fantasies. We'll talk about that a little bit more too, because some people aren't liking the cast, but we'll talk about that. But apparently the combat system was really the thing that bugged us the most. Because, I mean, the gameplay, can be whatever. Like, and unless you're taking Final Fantasy to a newer direction, because it's kind of been not so great in the last couple of years. Like, you can argue that 10 was, like, some of the best, like, one of the best Final Fantasies. Some people think it's 9. Some people, of course, think 7's, like, the greatest thing ever created by, like, man. Even though I personally think 6 was one of the better Final Fantasies, but I never played anything after 9.
I didn't play any of them.
Yeah, I know. So, but like the combat system is not like a turn-based thing. It's basically like a hack and slash, but it's not really a button mashing type of fighting system anyway. As the Tabata was talking about, he was saying that it's he basically said the controls aren't you simply press a button once for a single action to happen. Rather, they're a continuous flow of movements. It's more about the movements that are associated with the buttons and building up upon them for actions throughout the combat system. So he said, I think if you tried it, you'd like it, and you'd think it's very natural. So, I mean, I guess it's still something to see, but there is going to be a demo that's going to come out. So it's going to be actually coming out when the Final Fantasy Type O HD remake comes out next year. So, so I guess people will try it out at that point.
And you can see for yourself if you like the new combat system or not.
Yeah, but I don't think I would... I'd probably watch it on Twitch or on YouTube if I wanted to, because I'm not going to buy...
Well, I mean, watching it is one thing, but getting a feel for it yourself is a different...
But I don't want to buy a game to play a demo. I'm not that type. Like, even though I heard...
Oh, you have to buy the Final Fantasy Type O to get the demo? Oh, that's whack.
Yeah, I mean... And that's the thing, too. I heard, Type O was a good game for... I think it was on the PSP originally or something like that. And I'm just like, I don't know about that one. And mind you, the guy who's directing this Final Fantasy, this is his first numbered Final Fantasy game. He's worked on, I believe, Type O, funny enough, which is coming out in the HD remake.
Yeah.
And Crisis Core, the one that gave the backstory of Zack.
Okay.
Which I know you know who that guy is.
Of course. Zack. my buddy pal over there. He's from one of the, Final Fantasy something or other.
So we talked about the cast, and apparently a lot of people are unhappy that it's an all-guy cast, that what they've seen so far, and there's no woman in it.
Hey, man, guys need their waifus.
Exactly. Now, apparently, besides, I think, one of the Final Fantasy, I believe it was 4, that had an all-male party. Like, every other Final Fantasy game had a woman in their party.
Yeah.
So, so people are still kind of like, dude, like really, where I mean, we want some woman in the game, and I guess they don't want them to be just the princess to save or whatever, the damsel in distress. They actually want like some sort of magic type of chick that's been in like every RPG ever.
Yeah, no, I don't really care. I mean, it's just like, all right, well, to me, characters are characters.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm a big fan of Fire Emblem, which had a pretty good ratio of male to female.
Mm-hmm. They kept it very fair in that game.
Yeah,
from
well,
what I hear.
in almost every Fire Emblem game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not everyone. There's a lot of the older Fire Emblem games were very more male dominated with like 4 or 5 female characters, but Awakening had a nice almost 50-50 balance.
Well, that's the thing too, but that's because Nintendo as a whole really wants to bring women into gaming, and that's why they've been aiming their demographic to a lot of women, like their commercials and such. I mean to say, because I mean it's been a study showing that a lot of more women are interested and are playing games than men. So that's why Nintendo is the only company so far that's just like, oh, women want this game. Well, we're making games directed like towards
Well, that's why
women.
they have like Nintendogs and Cooking Mama and stuff like.
Well, that's sexist.
I don't care about that.
Cooking Mom is all for all sexes,
I don't care about Cooking Mama.
Well, but you know what though? Look at the Smash Bros. Game. Like, look at how many women are in that game. Like, I think that's the most women in any fighting game ever. If you really think about it, even more so than freaking Skullgirls, I would venture to say. Like,
well, maybe Skullgirls is all girls, but there's only like 8 characters in the game.
There's to be fair, which is, but I don't know.
To be fair,
yeah, but. I mean, to now that people are bothered that there's an all-male cast, I guess there's kind of a tide turning, because that wouldn't be a problem like years ago.
This is just guys who want their waifu.
I guess so too.
Loser guys who just want to see females on the screen. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they need another Tifa, which if you don't remember her from Final Fantasy VII,
Yumi wait, what the hell was her name?
Well, the one in Fantasy VII was big because she had the big boobs. So basically, like everybody's like, like, oh my god, I need her in my life. It's like, really? Like,
I don't remember. I don't know their names.
Of course, well,
the only one I know is the one from 7.
Yeah, probably the one with the white shirt.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's Tifa.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you don't know, but I'll bring it up even to Lara Croft. I mean, look at the reason why she became famous.
I thought there was one Final Fantasy character, female, that started with a Y in her name.
Yuffie. Yeah, but she was like a ninja chick from what I remember. I don't remember her being like the hot one, unless guys thought she was hot. I don't know. I mean, people different, different strokes for different folks.
IDK.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I guess guys just want a hot female to look at on the screen.
Yeah, that's true too. That's the thing too. Talking about that, you reminded me. People say in Mario Kart 8 that the only reason why guys are using female characters is to look at their ass. And I'm like, no.
That's weird.
I mean,
I don't. Nintendo. Like, I've never looked at a Nintendo female that way.
Yeah, I know. Like, really? But
Mortal Kombat, maybe I watched the boob shake a little bit, but come on.
Like, dude, I mean, I wouldn't, because I've used, like, Rosalina and such in Mario Kart 8, but I'm not one to just be like, I'm not staring at her ass. I'm trying to win I'm trying to win a race. I don't care.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, but you know what? There might be people out there that stare at their ass. I don't know.
You know who my favorite female Nintendo character is?
Who?
Samus Aran in the full body armor.
Yeah.
All right. You don't see nothing.
Exactly.
You don't see anything.
And she kicks ass anyway.
And she's good. I like her because she's badass.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like her better as Samus Aran than Zero Suit. Yeah. Honestly.
You know what? That's fair, dude. I like that. Now you put me in a spot if I got to name a favorite character. The only character I could name mostly is Daisy because she's just fun. I don't care. It's like she's a cool chick. Peach is nothing, man. She seems too stuck.
She ain't nothing.
She ain't nothing. She too stuck up. I need Daisy in my life. She's the one that's cool. She's the down to earth princess. She doesn't even do anything.
I mean, I also like Toadette.
Yeah, that's true.
She's just a little mushroom.
We had a conversation about princesses and what they do. Like,
all right.
Dude, I don't think Daisy does anything in life. Like, what does she do in her kingdom?
She golfs and plays tennis.
She doesn't do anything.
She golfs and plays tennis.
Like, at least Princess, like, Peach has, like, she runs the Mushroom Kingdom.
She at least gets kidnapped and stuff. God.
And the toads are always concerned. And, she's like, they're her servants, I guess, but they also live in a town. And she gets kidnapped. They're all concerned. And they have to call Mario. Like,
Mario.
Then like, Daisy, she's just there.
Daisy never gets in trouble. Luigi, you got it good.
Yeah, right? Moving on to other games that have different sexes. The Sims 4.
Oh, boy.
Something else we haven't played, but we've heard other people playing it.
As The Sims are a game that I it's one of those things I played the first, like, I played Sims 1,
Yeah.
and then I played some of the expansions. I played Sims 2 and some of the expansions. I never played 3. I had friends who did.
Mm.
But, like, Sims to me is a game where you play it for, like, 3 days, and you're like, all right, I don't feel like doing this anymore. So I'm not going to spend money to buy a game I'm going to play for 3 days.
Yeah, I don't see the big appeal in Sims 4. I do want to bring it up because the mods are really funny now.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, like there's some mods that are coming out like that's added teen pregnancy to the game.
What?
Incest and polygamy.
That's gross.
That's lovely.
Well, the incest part.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even know why they're doing this. I mean, even more
Because
mods.
people are sick.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
People are disgusting.
But you know what? They must be really bored with the game for them to just say, you know
Well,
what?
like I told you, it's a game you buy, you play for 3 days, and you figure something else to do with it.
Yeah, and it's also a mod where it allows anybody to get pregnant, whether it's like 2 women are together and you can get them pregnant. I don't even know why. Yeah, a reverse pregnancy, which I don't know what the hell that is.
How do you have a reverse pregnant? What?
Hold on. The game lets men become pregnant as well as elders, and even features reverse pregnancy. I should have read that a little bit. Let's see. Was reverse? I have no idea, but it's a feature. Oh, he did. Even the person that read
Give the person
article-
who's like, I have no idea what reverse pregnancy is.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless they're like dying or going reverse.
Can you shove the kid back in? It's
Yeah.
Like, all right. I'm unhaving you. Get back inside. Like,
Yeah,
what?
Benjamin Button type of thing.
That's mad weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some
but
people are fucking crazy.
yeah, I understand certain mods, but when you're doing mods like this, dude, I don't know, man. You're on a whole other level.
Ugh.
I mean, that kind of reminds me of some like other mods for other games. Like even like some fighting games, you get some mods, and other first-person shooters, you get some crazy mods. But you got mods like this. You get mods like this. Like really, do you even need that in your life?
Yes. Yes. Of course. No, some of it's gross.
I wonder when our next game is gonna get modded, Destiny. If that ever is gonna get modded.
I don't know if it will, because I think they want to keep that game a certain standard.
Yeah,
And I think that the mods are never going to come for that game. And if they do, I think they'll get shut down.
Yeah, because Destiny is supposed to be a 10-year game, so people modding it up, it's gonna mess with Bungie's plan, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I could see people doing like, since there's raiding and stuff, I could see doing like raid convenience mods, like telling you like someone's low health, heal them, or I don't know if there's healers in the game or not, but like, oh, do this, do that, like like Warcraft had boss mods and stuff that tell you how to do the fight once people figured out how to do the fight.
Yeah.
So maybe in Destiny, there'll be a mod sooner or later telling you how to do the fights.
Yeah.
But at the moment,
nothing.
no.
Well, I did mention that it made $325 million last week. In sales total so far. There's probably surpassed that at this point. But apparently, Destiny is the best-selling new game franchise of all time, which is something I did not
really?
catch on last week. Yeah.
Well, how many new franchises have there been?
Like many.
Titanfall, I guess. But,
Yeah.
No, there hasn't really been too many like new franchises. A lot of the stuff that's coming out are just repeats and sequels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe it. Also, this game was incredibly hyped.
Yeah, incredibly. I mean, it had to. You spent like $500 million on the freaking game. You're gonna have to try to make some money back on that, even if it was a giant failure, like or giant like awful game. Like still, it's you have to make some sort of money off of that.
Indeed.
So remember we talked about that raid. The first group that completed that raid, they've done it in about 10 hours and such, and it was the first one to do it and stuff like that. And now that people know what to do with the raid, it's apparently taken like an hour now to beat the game.
That's how it always is, though.
Yeah.
That was, again, going back to Warcraft, that's how it always was. It would take a group a week to figure out how to do a new boss, and then once they figure out how to do it, the strategy comes out, and everyone's doing it like that.
Yeah, you know what, actually, to a point where, I mean, the last record was like an hour and 50 minutes. Now, the newest record so far, I mean, as of this recording, 37 minutes to beat the damn freaking raid. It's like, okay. But I guess that's what it is. I mean, the first, when you first play any game.
Well, exactly. You don't figure out, okay, well, all right, when he does this, what happens? Oh, we all die. All right, cool. So when he does this, we should hide behind this rock. Oh, he does this, and we all die. All right, so remember, hide behind the rock, and then hide behind the pillar, and then we all die. Fuck. All right, let's do it all over. Like, it's a learning process of how you get to do it. That's why it takes 10 hours the first time, and then once you know how to do it, you do those things like like clockwork.
Yeah,
and you get through it faster.
I compare it to like regular like platformers where people will play a game and you take like a week or two to beat the game, whether it be like an action adventure game, whatever the case may be. And after you beat the game, after playing it 2 weeks, you can beat that game like in an hour, like after playing it for like ever and ever and ever.
No, I definitely know how that is.
Yeah, it's speedrunners too. Almost the same thing. Like you could beat a game in like 5 minutes that took
exactly.
you
Once you have a set pattern of what to do and where to go and what's next. Like, instead of, like, looking for it and guessing and be like, all right, well, do I go this way? Do I go that way? I don't know. When you know which way you're going, you're obviously going to skip a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, basically.
So, like I said, it goes back to knowing the fight. Once you know what's going to happen next, you do the right thing, and then you complete it.
So, remember I talked to you about leveling in the game and how it could be really difficult or really easy depending on what you do?
Yeah.
The other day, on Tuesday actually, it was announced that someone had hit level 30.
I guess that's high because I mean, I don't really know because a lot of my friends who have been playing are all like 27, 28, 29.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was no level 30 before.
Yeah.
I guess you couldn't get it or something.
Well, remember the max is 20, and then you have to get your special armors and everything else.
Increases your levels and whatnot.
Yeah. So now that someone's 30, it's kind of like, well, shit, what goes on after this? I mean, especially if you're a noob and you bought the game yesterday and you're going to run into like people who are at level 20 and level 30. Oh, and I found out about that too. Remember how we talked about how, lower level players might be separated from the, hopefully are separated from the higher level players? No. They're all they're all playing the same level field,
awesome.
Same playing field. So some noobs are going to get pwned in their lives if they don't watch out.
I think you have to do a special thing for PvP. Like, I think you have to queue up for PvP. Like, you can't just do it.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think there's like world PvP in Destiny.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, but I think they really have to kind of fix that. Someone explaining it to me to where there's like certain levels of the game, like you have to be a certain level to play this thing, or a certain level to play that game, whatever the case may be for that. But if you had to, if you want to go online and do like things as a team, like you're definitely like mixed in with a lot of people and you're just going to get shot. Like somebody I know was like level 24 and he told me there's like people who are level 26, 27, 28 that are just killing him one shot, like no problem.
Yeah. No, I just looked it up that there is no world PvP in Destiny.
Wow.
You have to actually queue up for it and its own separate like thing.
Wow, that's just insane.
Yeah.
So there was a cave that everybody was obsessed with Destiny.
The Loot Cave.
The Loot Cave, which it was a cave in Destiny in the Russia map that lets you like get experience points and gears and everything. It got insane because there were so many people like exploiting it because all you had to do was just basically you what had happened was
all you had to do was just be near it.
Yeah.
From what I got, there was always people just like there.
Yeah.
And as long as you were nearby, you would get the loot and the experience, and you didn't really have to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically, like the cave trick was basically like these. You were basically hiding behind a rock, the players, and you're shooting at this cave because there's a cave where like these like thralls and everything else just like spawn, and you basically have to kill them before they leave a certain spot. And if they leave a certain spot, then the spawning stops. So then you have to keep killing everything until like. You're done, and then you walk in, and there's just a bunch of stuff in there waiting for you, and this was hot for a while because this was a hot exploit for you to like get leveled up and
right. It leveled you up and it gave you good gear.
Yeah, and apparently as of like late breaking news, I guess, Bungie shut it down.
Yeah.
They said, nah, son, we can't let y'all do that anymore. Which, I mean, it was like one of the first exploits of the game. And, it easily leveled you up. And now they're like, nah, we can't let you do that anymore. Sorry.
So I guess that makes it old news.
Yeah, so, oh, well, it was fun while it lasted.
For those of you who got to do it.
Going on to Nintendo stuff. Before we go into the company themselves, we got to talk about the two main games that we always talk about. First... not Smash, not yet anyway.
No, we'll get there, of course.
Some Mario Kart stuff, because I remember we talked about the Mario World Cup, the Mario 8 World Cup, and how that was going. Kind of forgot about it. I've never really got reminders of the broadcast. There wasn't really a schedule that was given. and such. Well, apparently Team USA lost, so they're not in the grand finals. So
Team USA's out. I don't care.
yeah, no, they actually lost kind of not too far off from Japan, because Japan was the one that beat them 10-59 to 909, with a difference of about like 150. Actually, it was 150. So, I mean, 150 points is not too bad, especially with, USA putting some effort in that.
I guess so.
The other team that's in the finals is Team UK, which is surprising because Team France was really like one of the heavy favorites going into this, and UK actually beat out France for them to end up in the grand finals. The UK is now in the finals against Japan, and that's going to be happening October 4th at 11 o'clock. So, stay
11
tuned for
o'clock
that.
when?
Eastern time.
Eastern time.
Yeah, they definitely had to look out because they wanted to get an audience, and they wanted to make sure that the Japanese team was, had a good time to play, and the UK team, because these are vastly different time zones from
several hours apart.
Yeah, and especially from especially if it's going to be big in the US, like if they're going to watch it like all over the world and people are like, kind of awake. And in all honesty, I'll watch it. Hopefully, I mean, I'll probably be at work though. Funny enough,
I won't.
Lucky you. Well, either that.
No, I said I won't watch it.
Yeah, no, you won't watch it.
No.
I mean, why not? High level like play. Why not?
Team USA is not in it, man.
True.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't watch it because I just won't watch it.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be busy watching League, man.
October 4th, probably.
Yeah. But then again, I can't really watch it anyway. I gotta, probably be at work and then hang out with the girl. It'll be her birthday weekend, so of course. And I also have to try to sneak in some Smash Bros. Play in between that too.
Oh, very true. Smash is coming out the day before that.
Before we go into that, one more thing about Mario Kart 8. They actually revealed one of the karts they're going to be showing for DLC, where it's going to be the B Dasher. Like, I don't know if you recognize this kart. This was kart first introduced in Mario Kart DS, and it's making its return. So, and if that's the case, and other karts are going to be returning to Mario Kart, like some of the older ones, as far as karts in Mario Kart 8, I do hope that they bring back at least the egg one. I forget the hell that one's called from the DS, the one that actually had the big issue with snaking. And that's my preference, or at least the mock bike. I mean, I know the sports bike is supposed to be the bike that like it is now.
I like the mock bike though.
The mock bike was awesome though, and at least the F-Zero bike is coming back. And at least they bring some old karts up, because they haven't talked about all the courses yet for the new DLC. But I really, out of all of them, for some reason, I really want to see Waluigi Pinball, like out of all of them, because I just love that stage. Even though it's nothing really spectacular about it, it's just kind of a cool concept of a stage, or at least it's some sort of new version of it. Because basically, you're racing around in a pinball machine, and then you get to the, pinball area. Like, it was so strange, but I really like that stage. I don't know.
I thought it was just Waluigi Stadium.
No, but there's the Waluigi Pinball. Like, you're actually in a pinball. Like, I'll show you that stage in time.
Which game was that in?
It was in the DS. It was on both DS versions, the 3DS one and the DS one.
Oh, well, I guess I didn't play those. So.
Oh, okay. But what about the no? But what other courses would you like to see?
The Yoshi one where there's question marks.
Oh yeah, that's actually in the new Mario Kart 8 already.
Good.
As a default. So that's funny. You would love that stage.
Because I hate that stage.
Oh, you would love it then.
No, let's do. I want a better. I want let's see. Just any kind of Rainbow Road would be nice.
Another one? I mean, there's only two in the game.
One.
A better one? I mean, the N64 Rainbow Road was really good.
Yeah. I also like the Mario Kart Wii.
Yes. If that made a good return, that'd be awesome. I mean, you could definitely hook that up in the newer version. Or at least maybe the SNES one too, just for
what I always like too? I liked a lot of the Donkey Kong. What was the Donkey Kong one where it shot you through the cannon?
Oh, that was which one? The N64 one where you got well, no, that wasn't the cannon. No, that was
Double Dash.
Yeah, that was double. No, the N64 had the ramp, but the one with the barrel was in the GameCube. It was also remade, I think, for the Wii version as well.
Yeah, I think it was in the Wii version. Yeah. So I want that one to come back.
Yeah, I hated that stage only because it was very tough to navigate through, especially in newer mechanics.
I liked it.
I liked it in the GameCube version though, because you could easily drifting. Navigate that.
If you're good at drifting, you like that one.
Yeah. Well, that's our courses and stuff for Mario Kart 8 and such, and Mario Kart fandom, because we like Mario Kart. Other game that we also love, I don't know if you ever could tell, was Smash Bros.
What game is that?
Smash Bros. I already said it.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Never heard of Smash Bros?
Never heard of it.
Oh, well, I got to really introduce you to it. Well, it comes out next week.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I know. It's
I'm pretty sure we mentioned that already, like 10 minutes ago.
I actually can't believe that, though. I really can't believe it's like, this is the time, finally, and I could actually own the goddamn game. God damn it.
Hype
is real. The hype is going to be ending. And then after a month of playing it, I'm gonna forget about it because then I played the Wii U version. Like that's what it is. I started thinking about it. Like, I think a lot of people who have the 3DS version will forget that it exists after the Wii U version comes out because I think everybody's just gonna forget a 3DS exists.
No, I'll still play it.
I mean,
but you can link the two, so
yeah,
it'll be like
true.
my to-go game, and then when I'm home, I'll be playing the Wii U.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I hope it isn't. In all honesty, I think it may for a lot of people. But the thing is, for me, I like playing in handheld, especially when I travel a lot and I, take buses and such. So I play my games on the go.
Of course.
So it's also a good thing for me. So I can, play a game that I really like on the go and then play it at home and be like, yeah, this is HD. This is awesome.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. One of the features of the new Smash Bros. Game is actually a world map where it shows where everybody's playing right now. And, of course, like in the entire country of Japan is lit up. And it does a world, and then there's dots like basically randomly placed throughout the world, like in Asia and Europe and in the US and such.
Well, yeah, because right now it's only out in Japan.
Yeah,
and then you had the people who have Japanese 3DSs around the world who have a copy or two.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah. Now, the online is actually pretty strict. Apparently, somebody had noticed that there's a notice about penalties. This is what it says about penalties. So let's see what you think about this, Steve.
Quitting during a match, continually self-destructing, idling, or attacking one person excessively will count towards penalties, forbidding you to play online matches for a while.
Yeah, how about that?
Quitting during a match, I agree.
Yeah.
Continuous self-destructing. Also a toxic behavior, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's like feeding.
Yeah.
Idling, I guess if you're just AFK, yes. But if you're like strategically idling, like you're just like keeping away from the battle, everyone else is over there fighting, like, yeah, I'm going to throw fireballs at you, then that's different.
Yeah, that's true.
Attacking one person excessively, I think, is stupid.
Well,
it's part of the game.
Oh, what if you're playing one-on-one? You have to attack the person excessively.
Yeah, but even then, like, also, I don't know. It's just, if you... I think it's stupid. It's a part of a strategy.
Yeah.
You figure out who's the best person, you gang up on them, you get them out first, then you're like, all right, the rest of us can play.
Well, especially if you're doing a free-for-all, and if you're doing, like, the game with items, and you're playing, like, a 4-on-4, you have to aim for one person that has scored the most smashes. I mean, come on, now you have to win the game, too, or at least get it to a sudden death. So, I don't know, man.
That one I really disagree with.
Now, the other thing I want to know is, how long is a while?
I don't know.
Like, that's what I really want to know. Are you banned for a day? Are you banned for a week? Are you banned for a month? Can you make a new, like, Miiverse ID and it doesn't matter because it's, like, are they banning your IP address? Like, I don't get how that part's going to work.
Well, I guess we'll find out, right?
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually. I mean, I hope not personally. That would be kind of crappy.
Just do it on purpose so I'd never play anybody online in my life.
Oh, never. I'd be so mad.
No, because, I mean, like, the mechanics and stuff are being found out, too. So, like, there's things like, the mechanics in the game. Like, for some reason, there's a rumor. When they look through the actual, like, I told you the game has been ripped. So, it's the ROM is out there, not for bootlegging, I hope. But everybody's taking a look at it. Everybody's looking in the game. And apparently people are saying that we could be getting DLC stages. Now, here's the settings that don't appear in the Smash ROM dump, basically. This is in the stage selection only, where it says all off, all on, turn all stages off, which is, I don't know why it's like all off and then all stages off. Make the stages available when using random stage selection. See stages you have downloaded, which is the key. See all regular stages. Select off to exclude this stage from random stage selection, and select on to include this stage in random selection.
Huh.
So, I mean, people are saying that the stages you download is going to be DLC stages. It could also be the stages that come from the build a stage part. Because remember, you could download other people's stages and you could preview them and stuff from Brawl.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I mean, so it's a 50. I mean, now there's like DLC of stages. People are still rumored about the DLC of characters. Because remember, the game is only like taking up like a gig or something, the space. And then there's like supposedly 2 gigs. So what's the rest of the 2 gigs? Is that supposed to be DLC? It's so many different factors. Like I said, I have a feeling it'll be amiibos and maybe just a stage select. I could be wrong too.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Sakurai had mentioned that he wasn't going to think about DLC until after the games were out. So We will see.
And it might come out next year anyway, because apparently the Smash 6 stuff, so I don't know if they're working on that. Or maybe that's just a last-minute thought. Like, okay, we did the game, fine, let's get the DLC out next year. Because, I mean, it's only a few months. Look how many months it was from the Mario Kart 8 release to the DLC. It's only been a few months.
Yeah.
So, and plus a lot of people are going to be really into Smash Bros. When it comes out. So it's going to be people fighting each other. People are playing it for fun. People
I'm
playing
playing
it
for glory, man. For glory all the way.
I'm playing both because you got to have fun with the game and you got to have
for fun as items on. No.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about the items.
I hate items.
If I'm going to play with other people who play with whatever rules, I don't give a crap. I can play without items. I can play with items. I don't care. I'm all about just having fun all around with the game.
Fox only, no items, Final Destination.
FD. So, like I said, they're gonna find more mechanics and such in the game, and apparently it was found out that the more damage you have in the new Smash Bros, the harder you'll hit, and it was found by Clash Tournaments and during their stream. So I don't know. I feel like that's cool. I guess like you're actually like because they're calling it. What they're dubbing it was the dumbing it. Dumbing it. They're calling it the rage effect. And basically, you're down in your percentage. You're down more so than the other person. I guess you get some rage. You're hitting a lot harder and such. You're hitting at a higher percentage, knocking your person out, so they can get you at an even level. So you're at an even percentage.
Basically, it's the Lucario for everybody.
I guess. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. And even they've mentioned it that too.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, in a way, I guess it could make for some really cool like comebacks.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to prevent dying and you can just keep hitting the other person, maybe you can come back if you're like a stock down or something. But I don't know. I don't particularly think it's a great idea.
Why not? You think it just ruins competitive play in some way, or?
In a way, yeah. It's like you should be able. Like if you have a lot of damage on you, you should rely on outplaying somebody to get back in the game.
So you want somebody to play a defensive game?
Yeah, camp it out. Give it out.
But you don't want to make Smash 4 boring. You don't want it to be brawl.
True, but I also don't want it to be unfair.
I guess.
If it's one of those things that like, if I get you up to like 150%, and then you are able to knock me off, and then my next life you're at 150% still, and after 3 attacks I'm at 60%. I'm like, what the hell? It's not fair, because you have some rage effect that I don't have.
That's true. Well, no, it's open to all players, so
Yeah, well, I don't have it because I just respawned. I just came back into the game.
I got you.
So it's not for.
Not for. Speaking of DLC and such, patches are even coming out too, and there's gonna be a new patch coming for Smash Bros. It's gonna be update 1.0.2. It fixes the glitch that we talked about last week, where
Princess Peach
being
banned from game. Well, you actually, she wasn't banned from the game. You were banned from the game.
Yeah. So, they're fixing that. And that was basically in For Glory mode. If you don't know about it, basically For Glory mode is, the mode with no items. Is the 4 super serial smasher in your life.
Like me.
And apparently when you poke out an item, because, Peach has a down B move where she pokes out items from the ground, which would be like it could be a random lightsaber, or basically it's supposed to be the turnips at first, but she could also perk out a lightsaber or whatnot.
A bomb.
Yeah, and they can get you banned, apparently, because, you're not supposed to have any items from For Glory mode. The game thought you were glitching it or something, and they were like, nah, son, you're banned. And they kind of had to fix that, and Nintendo apologized for that.
Yes.
Yeah. So speaking of some other things outside of it, Super Smash Bros. And 3DS went through 93% of its shipment as of this recording.
It's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
Yeah. I wonder how it's going to do in the rest of the world, especially in the US and especially in Europe and everywhere else. I would love to see how that went.
We'll find out.
Yeah, man. Now,
next week, guys.
Yeah, next week we're going to be on it.
Oh yeah.
I'll
be sitting here. No, I won't be playing it.
Why?
Next week?
Yeah.
We won't be playing it.
Yeah, when it comes out Friday morning.
Well, we record on Thursday.
Yeah, I know, but it comes out Friday.
Yeah, I'm saying I won't be so the following week I'll be in the studio playing it.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be playing it
recording
yeah, the game.
What'd you say? Game? Yeah. Sony? No.
Yeah, no. So talking about, what though? This was an interesting article that Sakurai wrote, because, he writes a bi-weekly column in Famitsu magazine, and how he talked about the ice climbers and such. Now, apparently he also touched upon like how it's harder for them to make well, here's the thing. Sakurai explained part of the development for Smash is to migrate data from older games, which I thought was weird because he talks about how he was enabling their models and animations to be developed accurately, but that they couldn't do it for Melee because Melee's data was so aged, the team would not have been able to build those past characters from scratch, apparently, extending the development process. So they kind of, they pulled from the past games for other characters. They couldn't do it for Melee because the characters are so old, or at least the 3D models and the data is so old, and making it from scratch would have taken more time. And that was a thing for me too, because I know for a fact that they've talked about making everybody from scratch. So I didn't know that part of the process was bringing old data to the newer game. I thought they just kind of, did it like that. So kind of confused that they did that. And I don't know why they couldn't do everybody from scratch at the same time and have more characters in the game.
I mean, they did make Dr. Mario back.
Exactly. And that's from old Melee data.
Is that from Melee?
Melee.
Well, yeah, he's an old Melee character, but I think they just remade him from scratch.
Unless they stole from the Project M data.
Uh-huh.
Some speculation there. Imagine.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, though, because I seriously don't buy that. Like, I don't care.
If they did steal from Project M data, you could have stolen the Mewtwo data, you could have stolen the Roy data,
exactly.
You could have stolen all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or stolen, borrowed, I guess. You don't want to make them sound like bad guys.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I don't really buy the Melee's data so old that they couldn't make more characters like Ice Climbers or Mewtwo or whatnot. I'm not really buying that.
I kind of would.
I don't know. I mean, if they make up for it and if they make up for it and have all those characters in DLC, I'll be like, okay, fine. Like, it maybe took them a lot longer. Maybe that's why they're trying to hire a team so they can focus on the characters themselves.
Well, again, we had mentioned the Ice Climbers story last week.
Yeah, where they were cut from the 3DS.
They were cut from the whole reason they were cut from the game is that they were working on the Wii U version just fine. Like if the game only came out for Wii U, you would have the Ice Climbers in the game.
Yeah.
But the fact is they were messing up hard body on the 3DS version.
They slowed it down. Imagine that. We would have been playing Smash Bros. At 30 frames per second instead of 60.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. So if they're able to find a way to make the Ice Climbers run more efficiently, then you might have them as DLC.
Well, but that's the thing. It could be a new 3DS exclusive.
Well, I think they want to avoid that.
Well, I mean, they have newer games that are going to be released exclusively for the new 3DS.
Right,
so.
But I think they just want to avoid exclusive stuff for a game that's supposed to be the same for everybody.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
Because who's to say, like, you have, say I never upgrade, right? Say I keep my 3DS and you upgrade. I can never play against you.
That's true.
Because you have the Ice Climbers and I don't.
Well, that could also
and I would lag out and I'd be like, oh, fuck this game. And
that's
throw
true.
my 3DS.
But then the thing is, too, it's just like the Mii Fighters. The Mii Fighters can't be played online for like, a general thing. They can only be played when you're playing with friends.
But that's not fair. Like, that wouldn't be fair to you, though. Like, say you're an Ice Climbers main.
Gotcha.
And you queue up and you're like, oh, I'm playing for glory. And you happen to match up against a guy using a regular 3DS. And it's like, oh, guess what? You can't use the Ice Climbers. Like, you're like, well, fuck this guy. I don't want to play him, man.
That's true. I see what you're saying. So, yeah, maybe Ice Climbers is out and I have to face it.
I think the Ice Climbers are out. We don't have to face it.
Now, one other thing we mentioned, too, we have talked about in the past how somebody had modded their 3DS to play with the GameCube controller. And apparently somebody else in Japan has done it, too. A lot more... it looks like a little bootleg because I see a lot more wires coming out of their GameCube onto this, but it works. But they haven't used the C-sticks. Like, see, I would do it if you could use the C-stick. And if it's not going to be able to do it, then screw that mod. I need to be able to use a C-stick in my life. I can't do it.
Maybe this guy just doesn't use a C-stick.
Well, I mean, you know what it is? The new Smash Bros. Doesn't have any C-stick movement yet because the new 3DS isn't out yet.
No, but it's got to be in there, though. It has to be, like, coded in
the
there.
Data?
It's got to be.
I don't think so, because even the last person who had it or, had it modded and was trying the game before, or no, he didn't have the game. He actually tried it with Street Fighter. So he couldn't map the C-stick to where it should have been because there wasn't any C-stick data. So you're right. They might be some sort of data within the game. If that could work, then screw that, man. Everybody's gonna be playing with their GameCubes or
Right.
3DS.
Yeah, no, but I feel like it has to be coded in there because you're not gonna have like the day that the new 3DS comes out, you're not gonna have a patch to be like, all right, we fixed it. Like here you go. Like it's got to be in there already.
Yeah, I gotcha. Now going on to Nintendo stuff. Some stuff that I've noticed the last month, but it finally happened this past Tuesday. In Japan, Nintendo turned 125 years old.
Dang.
Yeah, it's an old company. Some people are probably wondering, how is that? That can't be. They just started making video games.
Nah, yo. I mean, that was my initial thought. I was like, wait, video games aren't 120 years old. But no, they did other things before that.
Yeah, they had the Hanafuda cards, which, were like a card game very popular in Japan. And they're still making those cards in Japan. And they sell some replica stuff of those with Nintendo characters that everybody knows and love today in the U.S. They sell in the Nintendo world, too. They moved on to electronics later. Like they were making like Disney board games for them and releasing them in Japan. They worked on like electronic things like a walkie-talkie and some other toys and stuff. And then eventually they moved on to the Famicom. Well, first the Game & Watch series first, and then I guess the Famicom came later. Because I think they released a system that like had a keyboard or something like that. I don't even know if that really worked, but they tried. But then that Famicom was the one that did it. Eventually turned into the NES later.
Yep. And then the rest, as they say, is history.
Mm-hmm. Talking about some of the consoles, because we talked about Nintendo's, like the new 3DS and stuff. Something interesting happened, and which is why I feel like Nintendo and probably Sakurai is punishing the North Americans and maybe the rest of the world, because the new 3DS is going to be coming out in Japan in October, basically like in a week or so.
Yes.
And it's just like, okay, everybody else in the world's getting it next year, and it's like, well, I don't know why, but okay. But apparently Australia is getting this thing first. November 21st, the new 3DS is going to be released outside of Japan, first in Australia. And it's interesting because Australia gets everything last.
Usually, yes.
Like that, and that's a weird thing for me because if you ever follow video games and everything else, Australia doesn't get shit. Like they always get dicked in the end because they get every game late, whether it be by like weeks or months or maybe even a year or so. A lot of the games are banned because like they're so violent. They have to be heavily censored in order for them to be released in Australia and everything else. So they get very different versions of games that we in other countries don't get to miss out on because we get to see it.
Stop being pussies, Ultra. Like for real.
And now this is kind of like a first ever because I don't think Australia's ever gotten a console before anybody else.
Well, now they do.
Yeah, and that's going to be in the form of the new 3DS. So, I mean, that's interesting because I still felt like, they're punishing the Americans still. And that's why I feel like, in all honesty, that Smash Bros. Wii U is going to come out next year in the U.S., but everywhere else is going to come out like this year.
Right? Damn.
Like, at this point, that's the trend that I'm seeing because it's like, you know what? You guys wanted to leak? F yeah. You're getting the game next year. Japan gets it this year.
But like, I didn't leak. It wasn't me. Why am I being punished? Punish those guys.
I watched it. I saw it. I didn't.
I mean, it was kind of forced upon my eyes.
Exactly.
I happen to be on Reddit, and this stuff is in my face. Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, but I don't know. I mean, I'm really surprised with this. I'm really happy for Australia though. So I'm wondering if this is. Is
it gonna be English? Maybe I'll just get one. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want one because it's region locked.
Yeah, region locked anyway. It doesn't even matter. You might as well get the Japanese one.
Stupid.
Yeah, I know. Now, speaking of the 3DS, the 2DS is actually going to do something that a console hasn't done in a long time. Have a transparent form.
Oh, snap.
I used to love that. I never got to
Too bad it's a 2DS.
I know, right? They're really trying to push that 2DS. It's like
they should make a 3DS that's transparent. That would be sick.
That would be awesome. See, that's the thing that I hate. Like, I love transparent systems. Like, I love the Game Boy when it had transparent ones.
I had the Game Boy Color, the
transparent
purple one.
Awesome.
So legit.
And
then I broke it, and then I got like an indigo one. Or not an indigo. I got a teal one. Whatever. I was mad, but it was so cool.
Like, and I love
like the chips and wires and stuff.
Yeah, it's such a cool thing. And then they stopped doing that for like the last couple of generations, and now like the 2DS is coming with it. It's like that's awesome. And thanks to Pokemon, by the way.
What?
Yeah, Pokemon. These are Pokemon themed transparent 2DSs.
Oh, cool.
So
Again, too bad it's 2DS.
yeah, no.
Oh, it's for Ruby Sapphire.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
exactly why.
The Ruby Sapphire remakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna try to remember which one is which. I know it's
Yeah,
Alpha and Omega.
yeah.
I just don't remember which
It's
one's
just
which.
one of those two. You're just gonna end up getting both anyway, like everybody else.
Am I? No, I think I'm only gonna get Ruby.
Really?
Yeah.
No X and Y like last time? Yeah. No, actually, you have X and Y.
I have 2 X's and a Y. What
Yeah.
up?
Yeah. Screw a Z when I could have 2 X's and a Y.
Yeah, right. I got 2 X's and a Y. I got the extra chromosomes. What up?
Now, funny thing about Watch Dogs, we talked about how it's not canceled and it's still coming to the Wii U. It's not going to get any DLC or season pass, so you're just going to get the game.
You get it, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to talk about some of the charts. Now, Bayonetta 2 came out in Japan, and
it's not doing well at all.
No, it's not at all. It's doing really bad, actually. I mean, it sold 38,828 games, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But if you want to compare it to the first Bayonetta, which was released on the PS3 and the 360, the first Bayonetta on the PS3 sold 135,000 copies and 64,000 in the 360 in its first week. So compared to the 38,000, that's not so great.
It was 135,000 on PS3 alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, it sold basically 200,000 copies between the two consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it's way, way, way behind schedule here.
Yeah, and mind you, I mean, is it because of the Wii U or is it because of the
Yes.
audience?
Wii U.
Well, think about that, because I mean, look how many people have bought Smash Bros. It's almost 1 million in a weekend. Look how many people.
Well, that's also on the 3DS.
But look at Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8's already reached 2 million or past 2 million at this point anyway.
Huh. True.
So I don't know if it's the fact that if it's the Wii U that maybe the amount of people who own it, which it's still a lot. I mean, people are buying it.
I think it's the audience of people that play on the Wii U.
That's the thing too. That's what I was about to get at. Because maybe the audience that own a Nintendo console are used to one type of game and not, Bayonetta.
True that.
Maybe
it shouldn't have been a Nintendo exclusive. You ever
Yeah.
think of that?
Yeah, that's true too. But then again too, well, who's to say that it would have been successful on the other consoles if it's like not doing so well now?
I don't know. I know a lot of people who actually did like Bayonetta.
Mhm.
I never played it, so I don't care.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people who were very into Bayonetta, and they were like, "Oh, too bad this one's on the Wii U."
Yeah, and
So the fact that I've heard people say "too bad it's only on the Wii U" makes me say like, "Oh, you're losing money."
that's the way I've heard that too. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they release it later, maybe, but it wasn't even going to be made anyway, because the people who have released the first Bayonetta felt like Bayonetta 2 was not going to be successful and
it's
didn't want to
clearly
release it.
not. Well,
Yeah.
it's not. It appears they're right.
Yeah, and Nintendo wanted to make it for, it's like, oh, we heard you want to make this game, let's release it on a console, maybe we can sell and all that stuff, and didn't work out.
Nah.
One other thing Nintendo related, somebody had beat the world record of beating Super Mario World. He beat it within like 0.12 seconds of the last world record. He beat it at 9 minutes and 51 seconds on the dot.
Dang.
That is crazy close.
That is close.
And that's speed run, no any percentage, so really you don't have to complete everything, get every 100%.
You just got to get to the end.
Yeah, basically. And of course it's really easy in Mario World, because all you have to do is go to the Star World, beat all the Star World levels to end up at Bowser's Castle, and then you end up there, and that's it.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Congratulations to that guy.
Yeah, you get nothing. You lose. Good say, sir.
Yeah, you get a congratulations from two guys.
Yeah, exactly. Hell
Two
yeah.
broke guys.
The two broke gamers. Now, moving on to Sony stuff, it was an interesting quote that I saw from Sony, where they're saying that delaying games is a good call. They're saying if you've already made a big investment and you want to bring it out half ready for the wrong reasons, then it's going to be a cost. Personally, I think it's the right call. And this is a quote coming from Sony's UK Vice President Fergal Gara, talking about like the games that got delayed, like Evolve and Battlefield, The Division, Batman, Assassin's Creed. And I think he has a point on that. I mean, why release a game half-assed if it's not 100% done and you just have people spending $60 in the game that's kind of like half-assed and kind of half done?
My brilliant insight. I agree.
So
That's it. I agree. That's perfect sense.
So maybe maybe Sony is making the right move, or at least not Sony. At least these companies or developers are making a right move in delaying these games. Because I mean, it's always a reason for a good delay. Like whether it'll hurt or help is another thing. Like
you might frustrate the gamers, but in the end, you're gonna make them a lot happier by releasing a quality product.
Yeah, look
over
at
a rushed piece of crap.
Yeah, look at Watch Dogs. They got delayed, but I guess it kind of hurt them a little bit. But then look at GTA 5 where that got delayed and it just was massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, people who who heard about the Sony delaying stuff. We're always going to talk about The Last Guardian, which was some game that's been in development or for like ever since the PS3 actually. So now it's actually restarting in development because now they're going to make it for the PS4. It's a game that people were really excited for and hyped for, and it's still being made. So
I think I heard of that one actually.
Yeah, and I really don't know what the game's about. I guess it's kind of reminiscent of like Shadow of Colossus or that type of game. I don't know. I mean, I looked really interested in that game, but if it's not I'm not gonna hype myself for something that may not potentially come out if it's gonna be in development that long.
There are some games that are just so shady.
Yeah.
Like they've been being made forever.
Like Duke Nukem, and it ends up
Duke
being
Nukem took it ended up taking 10, 15 years to come out and ended up being a massive piece of garbage.
Yeah. And then hopefully that won't happen to Final Fantasy 15, which started off as a Final Fantasy 13 spin-off, which actually was. I remember when the game was first announced, I actually thought the game looked much better than Final Fantasy 13. But now that it's 15 and it's on its own, it's like, all right, it's kind of questionable, but I do hope it's successful because it does look really awesome. I don't know.
Yeah.
Other Sony news, the PlayStation TV is going to be coming out October 4th in North America. So it's a set-top box that'll let you play some Vita games and PS3 and PS4 games via remote play and such. And it's I don't know. It seems pretty cool. I don't know if I'd buy it right away because it's like I said, it's like a streamer type of set-top box. It's not only for games; it can also stream TV and such. But right now, it's only be able to stream via remote play. Because you could do PS Now, PS TV, and you could play like Vita games, and all that other games on streaming. But it's not going to be available for all games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's a cool concept. I just don't know if I get it yet. And especially if I have to get a Vita for it, I want to make sure that Vita will be able to play games that I have and I want to play.
True that.
And one story we have for Microsoft, or actually two, the Xbox One's going to be out in China on the 29th of September. There was a slight delay, which I don't know what happened, but it threw off the schedule a little bit because it was supposed to be out already. So it's going to be coming out the 29th. And yeah, that'll be fun for China. Hopefully it'll have a better response in China than it did in Japan. Because we forgot to mention it last week because we mentioned it the week before. The first week sales of the Xbox One in Japan had about like 26,000, let's say. It's probably close to 25,000 in its first weekend. Compared to the Xbox 360, I mean, the 360 in its first week in Japan sold about 60,000 units. So it's a giant drop off. And the second week, it dropped to 3,015 consoles. And in the third week, it dropped down to 1,314 consoles.
Ouch.
Eesh. And to compare it, the Xbox 360 sold 103 consoles that week. So that's just, oh man, I didn't expect it to be that bad.
It's losing the race, man.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, people are still loving their PS4s and Wii U's apparently. I mean, damn, 1,000 after like a first couple of weeks.
Ouch.
Yeah. So Steam, going into Steve and Valve news, they launched a Discovery update, which they redid the entire homepage of Steam, and all that such. And now there's a new homepage that like has personalized recommendations based on your playing habits and stuff. So it's a new thing. And now there's also another new thing, which is Steam curators, which are people that publish reviews and recommendations and publicly on Steam. So if you wanted to, and if you consider yourself like an expert in some sort of genre of the game, you can be a curator too. So you're curating. It's called Steam Curator. So it's people helping people find games to play.
So I'm a self-proclaimed expert. So I get to write reviews and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you've seen some of the reviews on Steam. They're just dumb.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? What the hell is it? Counter-Strike, where it's like the chicken AI or the chicken animation is the best ever in a video game, 10 out of 10, like that type of thing.
Well, yeah, that's called trolls.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still funny. Going to sticking with PC games, let's go into League of Legends, man.
Of course.
So there's even a commercial for the world's the championships, man.
Actually, it's like a music video almost.
Yeah,
it's like it features the hell's the name of that band? Fuck. They're a popular band too.
I don't know.
Imagine Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Imagine Dragons, and the song's called Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched it. It's pretty cool.
And it's funny because I was reading Kotaku. I guess a shout out to them, but there was an article talking about how the League's World Championships commercial was a missed opportunity. This person, Luke Plunkett, thought it should have reached out a little bit more to a wider audience, and instead it was kind of like this kind of closed in type of thing.
Well, Riot showed it on their own YouTube page, and it's all over. It's in the actual client itself, so any League people have seen this already. So I guess that's who's really important of watching it.
Well, here was the best thing. Mark Merrill, who is
the co-founder of Riot Games,
actually tweeted at him, and it was great because he said, "Sorry, Luke, we aren't a missionary religion. We preach to the converted."
Yeah. So they're not looking to convert you. They preach to the already fanned.
Anything worth mentioning in Worlds before anything else?
Well, I guess we can go over how the brackets look so far. Group A and Group B are already finished. They played in Taipei. Out of Group A, you've got Samsung White and Edward Gaming advancing out of Group A, and you have the Samsung is from Korea, Edward Gaming is from China, and then you have Starhorn Royal also from China, and Team Solo Mid from America. Moving on in Group B. Samsung will be facing Team Solo Mid.
Okay.
And Starhorn Royal will be facing Edward Gaming.
How quickly is this happening? Because it seems to be moving kind of fast.
Well, they did Group A and Group B last week.
Yeah.
Over the course of 4 days.
Okay.
And they're doing Group C and Group D kind of as we speak.
Okay.
So, as I said, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning watching Group A, Group C and Group D. I'm all kinds of fucking tired, right?
Yeah, that's why you're watching these games, man.
I was up early, and I haven't gotten any sleep in between. So, surprisingly, it's a weird story with LMQ because they're actually from China.
Yeah, but
they qualified through North America, and actually they got screwed by China. So when you ask them what region you're representing, they say we're representing North America, even though they don't speak English. So they're actually 2-0 in their group right now, and they were favored as like that 4 team that like you're not supposed to be here kind of team, but they're taking names, man. They've already beat Fnatic, and they beat OMG. Fnatic is European. Yeah. OMG is Chinese. And that's Group C, which is, like I said, it's Fnatic, LMQ, OMG, and Samsung Blue. Samsung Blue is Korean.
Okay.
And right now, Samsung Blue, I believe, is 1-0. LMQ is 2-0. Fnatic is 0-1.
Oh.
And OMG is 0-2.
Ouch.
So, I'm obviously from North America, so I'm rooting for LMQ.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like represent my region.
In a way.
Yeah, but you know what? According to them, they're representing us too, so I'll root for them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like they're the blue shell.
Yeah, I guess so.
No one expected them to be here, and there they are, taking names.
The blue shell.
Shell, yeah. And then that's actually the group of death. People thought that was gonna be the hardest group. Yeah, and it clearly is showing to be so.
Gotcha.
Because the fourth seed is actually taking games. And then Group D is the trifecta, as you will, because there's 3 really good teams and 1 like, why are you in this?
Yeah,
and they're actually proving to be the why are you in this whole tournament.
Oh, that's
they're getting wrecked. They're getting absolutely bombed on.
I was hoping for an underdog story, and it's not. happening.
LMQ's your underdog story.
I know, but I mean, the one group. At least I was hoping they would. Like you told me about
Kaboom, the Brazilian team, because Dark Passage was the Turkish team, and they got duked on. And so Kaboom is also being very demolished. But actually, North America's Cloud9 is 2-0.
Yeah.
Woo woo. That's my team.
Yeah.
That's the team that I root for.
Mango.
Yeah. Mango Smash Player is part of Cloud9, but
Yeah.
I love the North American League of Legends Cloud9 team.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, also you have the Korean team, Najin White Shield, who murdered, absolutely murdered Kaboom Esports. Then the Korean Najin White Shield is 1-0 because they beat the crap out of Kaboom Esports. Alliance, I keep saying Fnatic, no, because Alliance, the European super team, is 0-1. They lost to Cloud9.
Okay.
And Kaboom Esports is unfortunately 0-2 because they're not even supposed to be there.
I was really pulling for them. I didn't know anything about them, but I was pulling for them.
They're Brazilian. you ever there's a lot of jokes on the internet about Brazilian gamers just being like BR. Wait. So, whatever.
Another World Cup fiasco. 7-1.
Not quite. I will.
Too soon.
Yeah,
Too soon.
Too soon. Some people will be like, sports? What is that?
That's true.
So, like I said, I'm rooting for Cloud9 all the way, but I'm also rooting for. I mean, I'm pretty sure TSM is going to get demolished by Samsung White. It's just Samsung White is the #1 seed overall in the tournament.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure TSM is going to get rocked.
I'm going to watch at some point, though. I mean, I watched a little bit, like, I think a Saturday morning when I was on my way to work, and it was kind of hype. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I knew a double kill happened, and I was like, oh, crap, like, this was kind of exciting.
I couldn't tell you what game you were watching.
Yeah, no, like, it probably happens all the time, but, yeah, it's like, oh, that was kind of hype.
Definitely, I will be up again at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning to also watch, and then Saturday morning as well.
Yeah,
and
like
Sunday morning. I'm up at 5 o'clock every single day to watch my games.
Hell yeah! Like I said, like there's a difference between watching a game live and then having to watch a replay of it. I just feel like it's weird. I don't know. You feel like the moment's passed. I don't know. It's that weird thing I have.
Yes.
Like same thing with watching sports. Like I couldn't watch a game over again. Like I'm just weird. Like people can watch games all the time. Like that one game that changed their life, and they're just sitting there on their couch, like on the VCR or something like that, watching the super old game. Like I remember this play and everything. Like even with games and esports, I can't do that. Like I can watch highlights. Or I can watch like
highlights.
videos.
I can watch highlights, but I can't watch a whole game.
Yeah, like I can't watch a whole tournament. Like if I had to watch some clips from like Xanadu, let's say for Smash, like I couldn't do that. But if I watch Evo, I'd be like maybe I could give that like watch the top 8, but I wouldn't watch the whole 3-day tournament. Like I couldn't do that.
Most deaf.
Yeah. Funny enough, I wanted to bring it up because I just thought it was a coincidence. Snake and Wolf are in a game, but not in the new Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, right. Nah.
No, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain is going to have a wolf. Yes, Snake has a pet wolf now.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, when I saw it, I just thought of Snake and Wolf in Smash Bros. And
Together
I'm just like,
again.
Yeah, technically. You get this wolf as a baby, and it grows up with you. And the crazier part about it is it can die. I guess kind of like the Call of Duty dog, because that's really what everybody can compare it to, the Call of Duty dog. But once it dies, that's it.
It's dead.
Yeah, and this is according...
Dead.
This is according to... basically, it was an interview done in Japan. This was translated by NeoGAF. And it basically was somebody was asking Kojima about the wolf. So basically they're asking if it takes a lot of damage, do they die? Kojima's like, yes. So if your buddy takes too much damage, they die? Yes. Okay, so you mean they're dead for the rest of that mission and they return to the mother base wounded? No, they're dead, period.
Damn.
Really? Like they die for real? So that stage demo, if Quiet had died, that's the name of the wolf. If Quiet had died, she'd be gone for the rest of the game? That's correct.
Damn.
That's cold, man.
That is cold.
Yeah. And now through our lightning round stuff. Yeah, I can't believe I just did that.
Sound effects.
Yeah, the split screen multiplayer we were talking about, the Screencheat, which is basically your invisible like 4-player shooter, first-person shooter with 4 players. Basically, you have to look at the other person's screen in order for you to kill them. It's going to be released next month, October 21st, on PC, Mac, and Linux. It looks like an awesome game, and I really want to try it, but I don't have a good gaming PC, so I can't. So I'm going to probably have to wait on that.
The game where cheating is encouraged.
Oh, yeah. Rock Band is, like, dying finally. Like, it's been dying and dying. the game's being killed, but it was being supported by the the DLC, the Rock Band network to download games and music and such. Now that's going. So now that that's dead, Rock Band is just no longer going to exist anymore.
Bye bye.
Yeah, unless it's going to be survived by hacks and stuff. But I don't know if the people who play that really are into modding and hacking and stuff.
Yeah, probably not.
GameStop's going to be taking trade-ins of old Disney Infinity and Skylanders figures. Figure that one out.
That's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, so if you're done with your old figures and you don't know what the hell to do with them, well, guess what? You could bring your old toys to the thing. And one other thing about that is the fact that GameStop is doing a business. They actually want to do something weird. They want to get into the business of selling used DLC.
Used DLC?
Yeah. The GameStop's executive vice president had talked about used digital content. He said, in using and selling used DLC, it'll require a partnership between retailers and publishers, but absolutely it could go that way. We're absolutely interested in pursuing that. There are lots of examples where people have taken digital content and made it transferable from one customer to another. I guess maybe referring to Steam, because I think Steam's able to do that in all honesty, where they kind of can sell the digital versions of their games if they don't want it. So if they're selling DLC, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it's cool because at least maybe a lot of people just don't. I mean, guess what? DLC, you get it, you're stuck with it. That's it. It's not like you could trade it or anything unless you had it in a physical form. Well, once you have it, that's it, man.
I guess that would make sense. Like say for you downloaded the Call of Duty maps, you no longer play Call of Duty. You can trade in your Call of Duty maps and someone else can buy them.
Yeah, because if you trade the game, it's like, oh, I don't want this game. It's like, okay, I'm stuck with the maps though.
Yeah. So I like that. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So one final story is the fact that I'm surprised that Duck Dynasty is gonna have a video game coming out soon.
What are you gonna? What? Duck Dynasty?
The game.
Wow, how is that even going to be a game?
Well, here's a console list that I'm impressed that it's coming out on. It's going to be coming out on the 3DS.
Okay, let's stop here. No, actually, no, please continue. I'm actually really interested now.
The 3DS, the 360, the PS3, the PS4, and the Xbox One. Oh, the Wii U gets shafted again.
The Wii U gets nothing. Nice. How are you going to have a Duck Dynasty game?
I don't know.
No.
Let's see. According to the trailer, it's like you're a cast member and you're playing someone to become part of the family. You're trying to become someone part of the family by hunting ducks, calling ducks, driving their car, and fishing. As far as I can tell, the game release is actually really soon, October 14th. So this is a surprise kind of thing right now.
That is so stupid. I will straight up say that is stupid. I've heard a lot of stupid games before. That is dumb.
Yeah,
and it's like a Mafia game, but not Mafia. Duck Dynasty instead. You want to be part of the Duck Dynasty, son?
Oh god, that probably is the intro to the game. You just probably reenacted it to the T.
Here's how you become part of the Duck Dynasty.
I just
you hunt ducks and you drive our trucks, and then you become part of the dynasty.
I just wonder how the touchscreen effects are going to be working for the 3DS.
I don't know. We'll all have to find out, I guess.
Oh, man. I definitely want to buy that game to...
Never.
No. Let me stop. No, I can't even joke it. I couldn't support them at all. They already have enough money from selling duck calling.
Yeah, right.
Things.
They made a fortune selling duck calls, and now you give them a TV show to make them even richer, and now you're going to make them a video game? I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, seriously. Now, as you can tell, we don't have a second topic.
We haven't had one for a while. I think the second topic thing is more of a if we have something to talk about, we'll talk about a second topic, but I'm pretty sure the second topic is pretty donezo.
Yeah, for now. We're going to come back to it, but we're just in life, we're busy and watching games and working and
not
stuff.
sleeping.
Not sleeping. I think we're both working on 0 hours of sleep, so and I'm probably going to get more 0 hours editing this show because we already got like a full I don't know, hour and some change already in this.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah, so whatever, man. But this is still fun to edit. This is still a fun show to do. We hope you're enjoying it out there, wherever you're listening to.
If only you guys heard the bloopers.
I know. The bloopers are coming out, man. At some point. One day. So let's give our stuff. You're probably better at saying this right now.
The outro.
Yeah.
You can follow us at Two Broke Gamers Pod.
On Twitter.
Haha. And, obviously it's the Two Broke Gamers podcast on YouTube. This is probably where you're hearing this because that's the only place we have it at the moment.
And, of course, it's a number 2, not the word 2.
The number 2, of course.
But we do have a blog that'll be eventually updated when I have hours not given to me at my jobs.
I think we should hire someone and slave them to do it for free.
Yeah, for free.
Because we don't have money. We're broke.
Yeah, duh. We had a third cast member, and he has a better job now and a better life.
He's got a real job. He left us.
I know, right?
No, what is that?
Oh yeah, the Two Broke Gamers podcast at wordpress.com.
WordPress.com.
Yeah.
You also follow us individually on Twitter too, because we do separate things in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I am Steve B. Agilism. That's AGILISM.
And I am at Terrick because I'm cool and I misspelled the duh. I'm at TEH_Rick. And that's it for the show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope we didn't sound too tired on mic. Hopefully my editing skills will make this sound awesome.
I totally sound like I'm dying. But it's okay because I do cool announcer guy voice.
Hey now.
Hey now.
All right, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah.